The journey of a young Navy cadet. The dream in a small village. Ahmed was born in a small, quiet village where life moved at the pace of the rising sun and setting moon. The mornings were filled with the cries of roosters and the fragrance of fresh bread, while the evenings ended with the golden glow of lamps lit in mud houses. His father, a hardworking farmer, often spent long hours in the fields, while his mother managed the household with grace and patience. As a boy, Ahmed was always fascinated by stories of the sea. Old travelers and retired Navy men from nearby towns would come back with tales of mighty ships, endless oceans, and battles fought for the honor of the nation. Ahmed would sit for hours under the neem tree in the village square, listening wide-eyed. Something inside him stirred every time he heard the words, courage, duty, and sacrifice. His teacher, Mr. Rahman, noticed the sparkle in his eyes whenever the Navy was mentioned. One afternoon, after class, the teacher placed a hand on Ahmed's shoulder and said, "Ahmed, you are not meant to stay in these fields forever. The sea is calling you. One day, you will wear the uniform and make us proud." Those words took root in Ahmed's heart. Farewell at the train station. Years passed quickly. Ahmed grew into a tall, determined young man. When the call for Navy recruitment reached his village, he knew it was his moment. He applied with trembling hands and a heart filled with hope. The day his acceptance letter arrived, his house echoed with joy and tears. The morning of his departure was heavy with emotion. His little sister, Zainab, clung to his arm, unwilling to let him go. "Brother, promise me you'll come back. You have to take me to the fair. You promised." Ahmed knelt down, kissed her forehead, and whispered, "I promise, little one. I'll come back stronger than ever." His mother's eyes brimmed with tears, yet she tried to stay strong. "My son, remember, no matter where you are, my prayers will shield you." His father, though a man of few words, placed a firm hand on Ahmed's shoulder. "Son, a uniform is not just cloth. It is sacrifice, honor, and responsibility. Wear it with pride, and never step back in fear." At the train station, the sound of the whistle filled the air. Steam rose from the engine, shrouding the platform like a curtain of fate. Ahmed waved one last time, his heart heavy but determined. "I will return as a hero," he shouted from the window. The training ground. Training at the Naval Academy was no easy task. The days began before dawn, with harsh drills, physical endurance tests, and lessons in discipline. Ahmed often thought of his mother's warm meals and the sound of his sister's laughter, but he never allowed homesickness to weaken him. He befriended another cadet, Imran, who quickly became his closest companion. Together, they pushed each other to new limits. During grueling swimming drills, Ahmed often recalled his father's advice, "Never step back in fear." That voice carried him forward even when his muscles ached and lungs burned. The instructors were stern, demanding perfection in every task. Yet Ahmed shone not only in strength but in courage. When asked why he never gave up, he simply replied, "Because I promised my family that I would return as a hero." Heroes never quit. Months turned into years, and Ahmed finally earned his place aboard a naval ship. Standing on the deck for the first time, the sea stretched endlessly before him. It was as if the ocean itself had been waiting for his arrival. Life at sea. Life aboard the Navy ship was different from anything Ahmed had experienced. The vastness of the ocean was both beautiful and intimidating. At sunrise, the sea shimmered like molten gold, and at night, the stars reflected upon the dark waters like diamonds scattered in infinity. The crew became his new family. Each sailor had a story, of sacrifices, of families waiting back home, of dreams tied to the uniform. In the evenings, Ahmed and Imran would sit together, gazing at the horizon. "Do you ever think of home?" Imran asked once. "Every day," Ahmed replied softly. "But thinking of home gives me strength, not weakness." The storm. One night, while the ship sailed deep into the ocean, dark clouds gathered above. The winds howled, waves crashed violently, and the sky roared with thunder. It was the kind of storm that turned the sea into a beast. "Attention all crew," the captain shouted. "This storm is fierce. Secure your positions." Ahmed's heart pounded, but he remembered his father's words and his mother's prayers. He tightened his grip on the ropes and braced himself as the ship swayed violently. Suddenly, a massive wave struck, and chaos erupted. One of the sailors was thrown overboard into the raging waters. Without a second thought, Ahmed tied a rope around his waist and leapt into the sea.